Oh, well, this is Margaret in Windsor, and that first tape just went off, and I'm going to start here, and I'm not going to put this up on that stand right now. So hey, maybe you can see me, and let me get this over, because this is a bit difficult for me today, and I've just gone at the end of that tape about telling about the mind control murders done in patterns. And of course, I mentioned Larry Flint because he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, nearby Marietta, in Moonraker Apartments, where I lived. Later, the title of my book, manuscript that was never published, was MD A License to Kill. At that time, I couldn't tell my real name. I've been told I always knew, and I know now that I did. My father's Edward the Eighth, married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe from Madison, Wisconsin, school teacher, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. That's my mom and dad. The Illuminati that you mention in the Bible, that they mention in the Bible, that's where this is today. I had no idea that I'd been, I knew something was wrong with my whole life, the way I grew up. I was given the name of a twin that was dead, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers, and that's the name I have to use. Both twins were born out of, they were born out of wedlock. They're twins. To Lina Dempsey, Route 4, Moulton, Alabama. I was put in a hellhole. And it was by JFK helped it. His father had been made ambassador to England by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1936 for the sole purpose of taking out my father. He would not follow their orders. They took him down. Then they kidnapped me because in my father's leaving, they forced him out. He was married to my mom. They were still alive and married when I came to Roanoke, October the 20th of 86. So this shows you the strength of the lies and what these people have done. JFK's father was appointed Ambassador Joe for the very reason in 1936 to take out my father. He wouldn't go along with them. So they took him down, and history tells you that he married Wallace Simpson. Even today, look at all the videos. Do you have any idea how I feel about what was done to me and my children, who are heirs after me, to my father, a beautiful man, whose problem happened to be loving his country, telling the truth, and trying to take care of his country and not take orders from this mafia. That's exactly what it is. That's in power now, sitting right up in Washington, D.C., the Rockefeller headquarters, and look at what's going on now. And you talk about, I was talking about chipping people, and then I started telling about my kidnapping and everything, and it ends up the Illuminati and all this, and chipping and mind control. Anyway, let me get to this. These murders were done in patterns, and there's a long list of them as the Tesla files. So now I put this up so many times. If I'm rambling, maybe you care enough. I know there are some that would like to go back and at least look at it. It'd be nice if something good came out of all of it, except pain. Okay, this last year, 18, Meghan Markle married Harry. Supposed to be Harry. I have my doubts because I was told back in 2010 in about October, November, that Harry was going to marry a black lady. So I didn't connect it because he hadn't until this happened. She's biracial. Now then, she has a sister, and I've already put this up on video, so you can't say I just made it up. Samantha is a half-sister. She's white. They had a white father, and they're half-sisters, she and Meghan. I think there's a brother involved. His name, as far as I remember, doesn't matter. It's the name Samantha. And I'm... okay. And so Meghan's mother is a black lady. Now then, I'm the real monarch, and I've lived in holy hell, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, and that's exactly what it's been. I've lived in such poverty and been beaten, and my children, and the things done to me here, done to my children. Now then, Somebody told me I didn't have the social graces. Where in the heck would I get social graces? In a pigsty where JFK and company put me. And all the things been done to me. I'm lucky to be alive, for God's sake. I haven't had clothes. I didn't steal it. I'm the victim. They took it from me. So look at the wedding at Windsor Castle and all this publicity by the Illuminati press about her father couldn't come to the wedding. Wonder what my father was feeling in his hell and pain at what had been done to him and my mom when they couldn't come to my wedding, which I wore a cheapie, like a Walmart wedding dress. It wasn't even a wedding dress. For God's sake, it was a learner back in those days. It was the cheapest you could buy. So, this is how they treated my father with lies, has been treated by the Illuminati, the American press. Where do you think the Illuminati started? It started with George Washington, for God's sake. Okay, now then. Back to Meghan Markle. She married Harry. So they married into a family that's a bunch of thugs. I'm talking about to Elizabeth and her father. The Illuminati appointed him after they took my father down. Now, what's Meghan Markle and got to do with any of this? Married with children. Her father helped on the stage. I don't know what kind of work, but he worked on stage with married with children. Okay, the woman on there played Peggy Bundy. I've forgotten her name and I liked her. I'm sorry I forgot her name. So you got the name Peggy in there and you got some other stuff. I can't get all this up. So Meghan Markle grew up on the set. Okay, now then, as soon as she got hooked up with Harry, you got Oprah. You got all these coming out and all the press and everything. They were going to teach her the social graces. She's become even more popular than the fake queen over there. While I'm sitting over here telling all this, telling about mind control, what you've done to me, and maybe the end of the world for all I know. Sure fits into the end times. Now then, where am I going with this? There's other stuff that I've tried to tell you fit in the patterns. And supposedly Meghan's pregnant. I don't know. I haven't seen any of these pictures. I don't want to look at them. If she ends up having twins, well, whoopee. So if you don't like what I'm saying, you should live my life and follow it and see what's really going on now and where it ends. Now then, when the lady mentioned Mel Gibson, it brought back memories, and I've just put that on the other tape. But I wanted the spinoff from Mark from Ork, and he didn't commit suicide. It was murder by mind control. Mark from Ork. Okay, the spinoff was my sister Sam. So here's the Sam. Sammy turned out to be a Samantha, my cat. So laugh at me if you want to. I may be proven right. There had to be a reason for all of it. This is in '76 when I was doing the book. I got my cat. And so the Sam or Sammy is being brought from there in the murders. Okay. Sister Sam was played, that was a spinoff. Pam Dawber spinoff. She played on Mark from Ork. Robin Williams did not kill himself. He played Mark. It was mind control. Okay. Oh, okay. Sister Sam was the name of it. Pam Dawber. And her sister on that program was played by Rebecca Schaeffer. She was shot at point blank by a stalker and John Bardo. Now then, here's the date where some of this is connected to. She was shot to death. Rebecca Schaeffer played the sister on My Sister Sam from Pam Dawber starred in it. It was okay. She was shot to death in her front door by this supposed stalker, who I said a long time ago was programmed. I told some of this a long time ago, up on videos and everything. Okay, she was shot dead. Rebecca Schaeffer played the sister to Pam on that. My sister Sam, shot to death July the 18th of 89. July the 18th is my son's birthday, Mark, heir to the crown after me. And then Scott. And Mark, and I'm going to insert this here. The names in here, Mark and Scott Kelly, are astronauts. They're twins, and they were identical until Scott, he stayed up on the space lab for a year. He came back down, and oddly enough, his DNA, they weren't identical anymore. Mark Kelly was married to, both of them are astronauts, was married to Congressman Gabby Gifford. Gabby Gifford was on TV this morning with Nancy Pelosi and all this crap that's going on that's a lot more than you think, and they aren't the good guys. She was shot. She's an advocate. She was shot in Tucson with 12 other people. I don't know if they died or what. It was at a committee for her. She was running for U.S. Congress, or already was a congresswoman, running again or something. And they did shoot her, and they thought she'd die. But anyway, her husband, Mark Kelly, she was married to Mark Kelly of the twins, Mark and Scott, astronauts. So now here is she and these women up there, Pelosi and all this, for gun rights to be taken away. This is mind control used in here, and that's the very thing they were aiming at, to take your weapons away. Take your planes down, you got security up there, and you can program the pilot, you can program the air marshal. They want to put guns with the teachers in school, like the Parkland. Why do you think all this rash of shootings and 18-wheelers mowing people down over in France and here? And it's mind control. And that doesn't say anything about the people who died of cancer and AIDS down in Africa and Ebola and all that. You can cure an illness or create it. I just happen to tell the truth about it like my dad did. Okay? So I hope you can follow me, or you can Google back and get some of it. Rebecca Schaeffer was shot point blank, died July the 18th, 89. Shot by John Bardo. John Bardo had been evidently previously fixed on, he was supposed to be a stalker. He was, obviously, if you follow this, it's programming, and it's done in patterns, so what's the reason? Okay, here is, fatally shot her, and she died. Okay, here's, his previous subject that Bardo called the stalker here was a child peace activist, Samantha Smith, who died in a plane crash in 1985. Again, you have the name Samantha or Sammy. And that will go back to, one day surely this is going to be told, I hope while I'm alive, to Meghan and Harry, and that they're illegal. And I honestly think that they're acting the part. I don't know if Samantha really, if Meghan Markle, that Samantha's her sister, really thinks she's married to him, or if this is a whole facade. Because I told you I knew that it was told they were going to be married back in, I didn't have her name, but that she'd be a black woman. She's part black, biracial. Excuse me, I've been called every name in the book and everything done to me, so don't tell me to edit my speech here. I'm trying to. Samantha Schaeffer was shot at West Hollywood residence by Robert John Bardo, who had stalked her for the past 3 years. And the other Samantha Smith that he was obsessed with, this guy that shot her, died in a plane crash, so I don't think he had anything to do with the plane crash in 85. Now, where am I going from here? There was somewhere else. I don't know. This was not something that I lived. I went back and picked it up. So, what's the next step? I put this up. And oh, I know I'm going to get all these things. Oh, this is a crazy lady. She's just in there and out there and all over the place. So I don't know. The only thing I can say is we'll see.